The shift towards seamless cross-screen interactions in commerce and digital experiences is shaping consumer behavior. And in this ever-evolving landscape of media, social marketing, and AI, Digitas is trying to lead the way. So joining me now to talk about the shift and the status of the market is Digitas' North America CEO, Amy Lanzi. Amy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the show. So let's just start with an overview of the market today. What's the current pulse?
Current pulse is very active. We have many clients that are interested in really growing and getting closer to their consumers. We call it addressable relationships. So the rise of CRM, continued investment in social as well as digital more broadly, and then of course, retail media. How are our brands really showing up in unknown ecosystems?
And how are you finding that the consumer is responding to some of these initiatives?
Consumers are responding. They want to have a better experience from brands. So they expect that they're going to get something personalized to them. So the more you know about them and you really help them sort of live their lives, the more that they really will show and vote by really spending dollars on said brand. So we're starting to see a lot of success there, for sure.
Interesting. I'd like to hear more about artificial intelligence. It's been the buzz term, I think, of the past 18 months, it's fair to say. How is that working itself into these strategies?
Absolutely. So, I look at it in two different ways. The first is what we're doing for clients. So for Digitas, which we're known for inventing, we have built out our own AI platform. This is really an operating system of agents to make it simple, and we bring it to clients to help them solve for marketing tasks and challenges. So how do you make personalized content? How do you build a persona that you might find against a social trend and actually ask questions instead of just putting something out there and testing it? Mm-hmm. These are different ways to really use AI agents to be able to get better about your marketing investment, mm-hmm. instead of just the old way, which was putting something out there, seeing if it worked, and then rinse and repeat. On the other side is about investing in our people. So Publicis Group invested $326 million around artificial intelligence. This is really to make our people better and faster and able to use all of these tools to really do things more efficiently for our clients. And so we bring those into our agency as well, so that we're doing it both ways. Things that are better for clients, things that are better for our employees.
What are some of those efficiencies internally that you're able to find with AI?
There's all kinds of examples. So for example, if you're doing creative, you're able to get to a different set of creative ideas faster because you're using these agents as more helpers, if you will, so that your chief creative officer can look at them and really make faster decisions to get to unique territories, as an example. Or other things in terms of having smarter planning for media optimization is another side of the equation if you're working on a media piece of business.
I'm curious too, these major social media platforms, Facebook obviously being one, Google another major advertising behemoth, right? Different platform to some extent than Facebook. How important are those? I mean, do you still see it really kind of as a duopoly when it comes to the advertising market?
They're all important, and the way we look at it is through the lens of where consumers spend their time and attention. So think of yourself and how you might toggle through a Facebook versus Google versus TikTok, for example, where you're spending your time. The average US consumer spends 1 hour on TikTok a day at least. So you think about that, and then as a brand, you want investment strategies, whether it's creative or media, to really be in the places where your consumers are spending time. So they all are meaningful, and they all play different roles in our consumers' lives in terms of how we, partner with those platforms to really intersect with consumers and helping consumers live their best life.
Sure. I guess I'm just curious with, reports of a TikTok ban here in the United States, if you're finding that it makes more sense to spend dollars on platforms like Facebook and Google per se versus other ones that are out there.
Yes and no, meaning we can't comment on things like that in terms of what's going to happen on TikTok. But what we do is think about, again, so if that goes away, where will consumers be able to spend their time? And they're more likely going to spend probably more time on social or other streaming services, for example, because those are places you go to really, be entertained. If you think about what is the sweet spot of TikTok, which is the community aspect. So we would then, of course, make decisions to be able to maintain that type of narrative with our brands, with those consumers.
Mm-hmm. We've seen some major entertainment events happen in the past year, of course, routine ones like the Super Bowl, this incredible Taylor Swift Eras Tour as well. What has that taught you, or what has Digitas learned from some of those events when it comes to advertising and maximizing the experience with the consumer?
Absolutely. This has been the year we talk about sort of IRL, meaning there are these huge events that can't be missed. There are cultural events like the Super Bowl, for example, and those are great times for brands to invest so that they can win on the big screen, meaning like the screen you might have in your home, and also on the small screen. So those types of brands are able to actually be purchased right in the moment and capitalizing on attention, because this is where consumers are all gathering to spend time. Largest Super Bowl in terms of fandom ever this past Super Bowl. And then on the Taylor Swift, like, you can't not talk about Taylor Swift, because this is really at the core of fandom, and how, not only does she have incredible fans, but she also drives communities. We've seen the Taylor Swift effect when, her concerts are in town. The entire town actually has an increased economic impact, and this is because she has such an authentic voice and connection with her community. And there's a lot that brands can learn from that, because if you have super fans and they follow you, they will follow you. I think Taylor Swift is a great example of a brand in the market right now.
Yeah, and she thanks those fans a lot too,
She
which
does.
is fun
She does.
to see.
That's right.
All right, Amy Lanzi, CEO of Digitas North America, joining me on set. Amy, thank you.
Thanks for having me.